Hey guys, Technically Jeff here, and today I have what is essentially the only real performance modification you can do at this time to the Kia EV6, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Genesis GV60 that really impacts your driving experience in day-to-day driving. Of course, you could get new lighter wheels, lower the car, get stickier tires, but those mainly impact the handling, which is only really evident when pushed to the limits. The lighter wheels might help acceleration some, but not drastically enough to really feel the difference. This is a modification you can feel. This is the shiftpower-usa throttle response controller that allows you to remap the throttle response curve of the vehicle completely. Do you want to have essentially sport mode throttle response, but be able to keep it in normal mode so the vehicle isn't in 100% all-wheel drive all the time? You can do that. Do you want to make eco mode much more sporty feeling without the lag that you have when you go to pass somebody? You can do that. This controller can completely change the driving experience, and it only takes a few minutes to install, and it's very easy to use and control with a smartphone app or the button inside the car. And it also comes with features like a valet mode that limits how much throttle can be applied, as well as a lock option that locks the throttle and makes it so the vehicle is undrivable to prevent theft. And I got BeatSonicUSA.com to offer $10 off for the next month if you guys use promo code TechJeff, bringing it to only $189, which is pretty good considering the impact it makes. So I'm going to go over the installation with you guys, test it out, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it. So let's get to it. Now I'll go ahead and get it unboxed here, but going into this, I want to make sure I set the right expectation. This isn't something that is going to add power to the vehicle. You're not going to unlock an additional 50 horsepower or something like that. That's just not possible. What it will do though, is it's going to give you the ability to customize the throttle response for the power that you have. So anyway, taking everything out here, we've got the manual. Then we have the harness that plugs into the throttle. Then there's the button to control it. And some zip ties here. And this is the controller itself that connects to the harness. Looking at the manual, we've got information on what's included and how to wire it in. We'll basically put the harness in between the factory harness and the connector on the accelerator. One thing to note, you start by opening the car door and taking the keys out and leaving it for 10 minutes so the car goes into standby mode. Then we'll mount the button to control it in the car. There's also information about the different modes. And using the app. Here there are examples of the different throttle response styles within the app that give different feelings when driving. There's linear for instant response, there's dynamic, and there's exponential, which I like for smoothness. Now taking a look at the harness and connectors here. The controller connects directly to this place. It just snaps in. The button connects to this little red piece here. So let's get the harness installed. Looking under the dash, you can see the accelerator pedal, and on top is a connector that we will remove and put the harness in between that and the accelerator. You just push the tab on the side and slide it up, and it just comes detached. Not easy to do with one hand though, so I'll go ahead and remove that. Alright, so I removed it and plugged in the new connector, one end into the harness and the other on the accelerator. Next we'll connect this little red piece to the button to control it. It just snaps in. There we go. Now to find a place to mount the button. All right, so I tucked the cable up to the side and ran it to the center console here. And the button is mounted right here, low on the center console above the USB ports. It's easy to get to, but not in your face. That should work well. And that's the full installation. Now let's get to the app. So the app's called ShiftPower FAFTech, and it's in your phone's app store. So we'll load it up here. To get it connected, we'll tap the Bluetooth car icon, then select the device. And type in the code that came with it. Then you'll put in your vehicle info. Accept terms. And then it's connected. You can tap modes to go through the various presets. There's an eco button to reduce the throttle response to save energy. In the mode settings, you can further adjust the preset amounts and switch between the linear, dynamic, and exponential options. Then we have the vehicle list. We have settings for the button illumination. There are some safety settings we can adjust here too. Now back on the main screen, you can see we can also manually adjust the throttle response by dragging the slider to whatever percentage you want, which is nice. And I'll show you in the app here too, it displays at the bottom the throttle with the shift power setting you're using versus what it would have been from the factory, which is pretty cool to see. Now let's get to some tests. Here we have the shiftpower-usa unit off, and we are in normal mode.
In 4.59 seconds, 0 to 30 in 1.77. Now we're going to try that with race mode, which has significantly more throttle response. Let's turn around and see what we get. Go.
30, 60.
That was 0 to 30 in 1.84, 0 to 60 in 4.69. Alright, next up I am doing race mode with traction control off, and the shift power is off, and we will see what we get. That was 4.6 flat, 0 to 30 in 1.76, and I'm pretty sure this is without rollout, so it's pretty solid numbers.
Quarter mile.
So then in just a little bit we'll test it with the shift power in race mode. Let's see what we get. Alright, so race mode for the shift power. Still traction control off. Sport mode. Pull out. And see what we get. 3, 2, 1, go.
30. 60.
This is 0 to 60 in 4.67, 0 to 30 in 1.85. So just driving it like normal. There's no improvement in performance other than the throttle response. Testing everything out, it seems to be essentially exactly the same. But it 100% makes it more fun to drive, and you can customize things. So you don't have to have it at 100% or 0%. You can have it at 25% or 50%, and that'll add some sportiness to it without going crazy. Even in normal mode, this will throw you back in the seat if you're already not kind of sitting straight. Just the slightest touch will make it go, which is a lot of fun. I do like the ability to do that. Now valet mode, that changes how much power you can give it. So right now it's at 30%, which means I can only do 30% throttle maximum. So if I floor it, this is flooring it right now. It's pretty pitiful. I can increase it up to say 45%, that's the highest. And this is definitely not fast. I am absolutely flooring it, and that was how fast it was accelerating. So valet mode can definitely come in handy. Turn that off though, since I don't want that all the time. But yeah, these modes are really significant. When you make the changes, they just kind of amplify what's already there. Watching this, you can see there's definitely a difference in throttle response, even in sport mode.
So, final thoughts. Personally, I'm a big fan of this. It makes it a lot more fun to drive. You can completely change the driving experience with this, especially in eco or normal mode. It makes it a lot more responsive. While I didn't see improvements in 0 to 30 or 0 to 60 times, this is all about throttle response, which you're not going to really see it in those figures. I would be willing to bet, though, that it is faster from 30 to 50 or really any speed where you're already moving and need to accelerate, like maybe merging onto a highway. I like the customization features a lot, being able to really dial in the throttle response to what you want, and being able to choose between linear, dynamic, and exponential is nice to change how the throttle feels. Personally, I like exponential because it's not as much of an on-off as like linear is. It smooths out the throttle response. So for example, I can run race mode with sport mode in my car and it won't make me nauseous, which is nice. So I like that. I like the safety features of it as well, being able to lock it so that the car's undrivable. Nobody can steal it. That's nice. I like the valet mode, so being able to, if you're dropping the car off somewhere, make it so that the person driving it only has limited throttle that they can give it is nice. So you know they won't be out joyriding in it. But yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with it. The installation was really easy, which is good. And like I said, it completely transforms the way the car drives. And for only $189 from BeatSonicUSA.com with the promo code TechJeff, honestly, you're not going to find anywhere close to this kind of a change in the driving experience for that kind of price. So anyway, I'll post a link in the description for you guys if you want to check it out. Let me know if you have any questions on the installation or using the app or how the car drives, anything like that. I'll be happy to help you guys out. Be sure to subscribe for more videos too. I have a lot more on the way. Thank you to everybody who has been subscribing. The channel's been growing a lot lately, and I really appreciate all of your support. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.